How do you properly network and meet the right people? I've been back from California for about 2 months now, and it's been a kind of different experience. For those of you who don't know or just new to my channel, when I dropped out of college, university for 2 years ago, I got lucky in the sense that I landed a job with a mentor of mine, and it was kind of smooth sailing. Um, I had a good job. I was getting paid very well. I was living in California, working out of Beverly Hills, traveling across country, eating well, and doing things like that. And the reason why I left, on the one hand, is I had some family had some family issues, and then on the other hand, is that I kind of knew that my life wasn't a reality. Now, you can argue and say, well, you got a good job, you landed a job with your mentor. If it's luck, well then, oh well, you know, take advantage of the opportunity. But on one hand, I knew that it was also, my blessing was a curse as well, in the sense that whenever you're in a good situation, you have to look at it objectively. And what I mean by that is that you have to think about it from this standpoint. Is your situation enabling you, or is it disabling you? And what do I mean by that? Let's say you were a financial manager or a dentist or whatever you do. If you got a, if you're a financial investor or advisor, things like that, and you got a job at Merrill Lynch, you're lucky. However, you're lucky because you got the opportunity. However, you're still doing your job and you are pushing yourself on a daily basis, at least at the beginning for the first couple years. However, if you are lucky enough to get a job at a place, but the pay is good, however, you're not pushing yourself on a daily basis, well, then you got to ask, okay, is that disabling? Because what if I get laid off? What if something happens to my boss? What if? Then what situation does that leave me in? And that's kind of what I had to ask myself. I had a good situation going, but if something were to happen, was I growing on a continual basis? Right now, I'm reading a book called The Self-Made Billionaire Effect. I'm going to do a book review on this probably sometime this week or next week. And something that the book kind of pointed out to me is that all self-made billionaires had extensive knowledge and expertise in one field. So the takeaway from that is, and why I mentioned that is that a lot of these self-made billionaires, from Sarah Blakely to Michael Bloomberg to all these people, they had extensive experience and knowledge in one field. They were working hard, and then they saw opportunity to do things differently, right? And I think that's why a lot of people leave their jobs, and I'm starting to have kind of a second opinion on jobs and working. A lot of people leave their jobs because they're not pushed and they're not growing. And if that's you, then you have to think about it objectively and be like, hey, maybe leaving my job is a good idea. However, having a job is not always a bad thing. And being pushed is not always a bad thing. Now, I made this video about networking. So what does this all have to do with networking? Well, since I'm building my business, I'm doing, SEO, digital marketing, social media marketing, I now am in a position where I have to go and meet people. I'm not in a job. I'm not working with a guy who's so high class that things just fall into my lap. I have to go make things happen, which is enabling me to get better, right? So I had to learn some tricks of the trade. And one tip that I'll give you guys in this video is that try not to have business cards, right? I remember the first networking thing I went to a week or two ago. There was an older gentleman there. He did some marketing. I do marketing too. And he kind of made a slick comment about me not having a card. And you'll get that sometimes. But we have to realize that when you go to networking events, you should have the mindset that I'm going to talk to people and give so much value that they want to give me their card or want to give me their information. And you're going to have people who give you their information even if you don't talk to them. However, if you don't go with a business card, you're not going to fall into the trap of going there pushing people and pushing your services or your card onto people. You want to have kind of a pulling effect where you give, you're dropping knowledge, you're dropping jawbreakers, you're giving nuggets, and like, hey, I need help with that, or hey, can you do that for me? So that's what you should do. Also, tip number two is try figuring out where your customers are or your target audience is, and also try creating partnerships with people from different industries. So, what do I mean by that? If there's conferences and there's local meetups, go to them, but also try to make friends with the organizers so you could speak, right? So for example, there's I'm going to a meetup tonight, and there is a meetup about how to run like Facebook ads and how to run Facebook ads properly. Now I know how to do that, and I'm assuming that a lot of people who go into this meetup obviously want to network, but a lot of them probably don't know how to do Facebook ads. Now, if you look at it from a psychological and authority standpoint, if I go to the meetup as a guest, I'm just like everybody else. I'm trying to network. I'm trying to grow my business, blah, blah, blah. However, if you make friends with the organizers and then ask to speak, and then let's say in 2 weeks, I give a speak on how to run Facebook ads properly, or how to do SEO, or how to do Google AdWords, well, now I'm the authority in a place where my customers are, right? So think about doing that, and I think that'll help. Those are my 2 tips. I just want to shoot a quick little video. It's what, 7:52 in the morning, and I just want to. I know I keep on saying this, but I'm gonna get really active in here. I just spent, I moved across country. I just spent the last 2 months kind of just sharpening my tools. I'm gonna make a video on that tomorrow about your confidence is your competence. And there's a lot of people going out there trying to sell stuff, and they're having a hard time because they don't really understand it, or don't believe in it because they don't understand it. So before I start selling my digital marketing services, I wanted to kind of know the ins and outs. Not that I'm going to be executing everything, because as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you don't want to be executing. If anything, you want to be more like Coach Bill Belichick. Sorry, all you Jet fans and, basically NFL fans, because Patriots be killing it. But you want to kind of be like Bill Belichick. You want to be like, who's the coach from Alabama? I keep on, his name's slipping my hand. Or you want to be like a Phil Jackson. You want to facilitate. However, as an entrepreneur, you are your top salesman, so you must know what you're talking about. And that's the first thing I wanted to do before I start going out and selling, is I wanted to know what I was talking about. So I'm going to drop nuggets like this on you frequently as I'm starting to go out and starting to network and starting to sell and things like that. I'll give you the tips that's working for me. Number one, because it's helpful for you, and number two, it also helps me organize my thoughts, so it's a win-win for both of us. However, drop some comments below. Let me know, what do you want to hear as you're a growing entrepreneur trying to grow your business, expand your business. What are some tips that you want to know? What are some problems that you're having? What's your biggest frustration right now? And I'll try to give you some advice that's been helpful for me and conducive to what I'm trying to do. But yeah, man, all you people out there trying to make something happen, or all you young entrepreneurs, think about your situation. I know a lot of you are probably working 9 to 5 and trying to support yourself, which is not necessarily a bad thing, which the self-made billionaire effect says. Just make sure, number one, if you have to support yourself, if you have to be practical about it, make sure you have a job in the field that you want to go in. So if you want to do stuff like me, SEO work, Facebook work, try to get a job at a consulting agency, so when you do break off, that you actually at least you have some fundamental knowledge of how to run it. Or if you want to if you're not an entrepreneur, you're just watching it to learn about sales and stuff, if you want to be a dentist, a doctor, work for these people, right? Self-made billionaires become successful because they have extensive knowledge in one field or industry. So don't just take jobs for the money, but take jobs in the field that you want to go into. So by the time you grow, you could then add opportunities to it, right? And that's all these self-made billionaires do, right? There's one guy, financial investor, and This is when mutual funds weren't big. He was a financial investor, saw this opportunity in financial investing, jumped on it, and then blew it up. And that's kind of the trend I'm seeing in this book. It's a lot of people are in the field. They see an opportunity within the field, and the next thing you know, they're billionaires. Of course, that's highly brief explanation of the book, but that's how you gotta think about it. Put yourself in a position where you have to be enabled, not disabled, and just make shit happen. So leave some comments below. What's your biggest frustration? And I'll talk to you tomorrow.